Chaos in Times Square as a shooter fires after a fight, sending people scrambling for cover as police shut down the crossroads of the world.
Everybody started running. I heard about 4 or 5 shots.
Tonight, 3 innocent victims are in the hospital, including a 4-year-old child shot while shopping for toys. And only on News 4, a tourist shot while sightseeing shares her story. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Gilma Avalos. Tonight, Times Square is a crime scene. The crossroads of the world closed after a shooting sent crowds running, crowds that have just started returning to the city. And in the chaos, you can see an officer running while carrying that 4-year-old shot in her arms. The little girl stretching out a hand as police rush her to a waiting ambulance. Another victim carried out on a stretcher just steps from the NYPD Times Square precinct. And in this next video, you can hear the gunshots as people run. Crowds of people running from the corner of 45th Street and 7th Avenue moments after that shooting. And 6 hours after the fact, Times Square is empty on a Saturday night. News 4's Anjali Hemphill just spoke exclusively with one of the victims at Bellevue Hospital. But first, News 4's Adam Harding walks us through what happened in Times Square tonight. Adam.
And still an active scene behind us here, Gilma. Very eerie to see Times Square behind us here completely shut down for several blocks as police tonight continue to investigate what led up to this wild shooting here at Times Square. Tonight we know 3 victims shot, including a 4-year-old little girl, and tonight the shooter is still on the run. Dramatic cell phone video showing an NYPD officer sprinting through Times Square carrying the 4-year-old victim, one of 3 hurt in Saturday's wild shooting.
It was right here.
Cameron Bevan and Erica Sanchez heard the gunshots.
Pow, pow, pow.
Shots fired.
They saw crowds running away in horror.
You got it, girl.
As they learned a child was among those struck by a bullet.
That's the worst part.
No, I want to cry.
Yeah.
Like a little girl. Like there was families all over taking pictures on vacation. There's like all the little characters everywhere. You don't think you're gonna hear, oh, a little girl is shot.
The young 4-year-old toy shopping shot. How many kids have to be shot before we take this seriously?
Police late Saturday releasing surveillance video of a person of interest. Investigators say it all began when a group of 2 to 4 men got into an argument. That's when at least one of them pulled out a gun and began shooting.
It was a moment of confusion, then it was a little chaotic, I guess, and then the police came pretty quickly, and then there was, probably like 20 cop cars. The ambulance came pretty quickly.
But we were like a few blocks away, and the cops were like running around still looking for him. So it's like we feel like is he still out here? Like it doesn't feel safe.
Police so far haven't recovered the gun. They blocked off the area for hours as witnesses stood watching, stunned.
You don't expect something like that in Times Square.
And tonight, the mayor tweeting out, thankfully, these innocent bystanders are in stable condition. The perpetrators of this senseless violence are being tracked down, and the NYPD will bring them to justice. The mayor saying the flood of illegal guns into our city must stop. Gilma, this shooting happening about 6 hours ago. It is not clear right now when the scene behind us will open back up, but certainly on a Saturday night, when a lot of people are beginning to return to the city ahead of the summer months, the last thing anyone expected was an empty and closed off Times Square. Reporting live tonight, I'm Adam Harding, News 4, New York.
Adam, thank you. Let's go now to News 4's Anjali Hemphill, who's live at Bellevue Hospital. She just spoke exclusively to one of the victims who was visiting from Rhode Island and sightseeing when she was hit. Anjali, what did that victim tell you?
Yeah, Gilma, we spoke to that woman from Rhode Island who says she was with several family members in Times Square today celebrating Mother's Day. And what started as a wonderful day in the city ended with a bullet lodged in her leg for the rest of her life.
It was a pretty traumatic experience, not only for me, but for my entire family.
Wendy Magrin still can't believe what happened on a family trip to New York City Mother's Day weekend. She was one of 3 people shot in Times Square Saturday evening, all of them unintended targets.
It appears at this point in time the 3 individuals that are shot are not known to each other, and it appears that all three are innocent bystanders.
Disturbing video appears to show an officer carrying the wounded 4-year-old child from a chaotic scene. Police say the little girl from Brooklyn was hit in the leg. A 43-year-old woman from New Jersey was shot in the foot. And 23-year-old Meg Renette, who was visiting from Rhode Island, tells News 4 she was shot in her leg, an injury that will likely stay with her forever.
Thank God it didn't break my bone or anything like that, but it did go inside, and it's where my muscles are right now. And the doctor said that they wouldn't do any surgery or take out the bullet just because they would do more damage.
Meg Renette says the shooting happened as her family was waiting in line at the BT21 store. She says she heard a scuffle, and the next thing she knew, she was shot.
All of a sudden, I heard someone called, like in a bad tone, someone else. And I told my husband, you know, just let's move a little bit forward because he had my 2-year-old in his hands. And at the same moment I told him that, the shots fired, and I was the first shot went to my leg. I walked a little bit, then I started screaming and asking for help. It was really scary. It was a scary moment.
Those 2 other victims are also recovering here tonight from non-life-threatening injuries. Police have not released their names. We're live tonight from Bellevue Hospital. Anjali Hemphill, News 4 New York.
Absolutely terrifying. Anjali, thank you. And these 3 bystanders are the latest victims in a surge of shootings across the city. The number of shootings in April rose by 166%, from 56 in 2020 to 149 this year. NYPD Commissioner Dermot Shea said tonight that the department continues to work to make more gun arrests in the city. Our team is going to stay on this story for you as police search for the person who shot these 3 innocent bystanders. You can get all the latest by downloading the NBC4 New York app.